Hi everybody, welcome to Stampin' Peace with Mary Nabe. Today I'm going to show you a technique that uses Stampin' Up! Classic ink pads and sponge daubers to make two beautiful cards. For these I'm featuring the Rose Wonder stamp set and the Rose Garden Coordinating Thinlits dies. Both of these are found in the Occasions catalog on page 18. And you'll want to be sure to check out the bundle price as well so that you can save 15% on each of these. So as you can see, I've made two cards with one technique. I do that starting with the largest of the Thinlits in the set. And I want to show you how I'm layering my Big Shot. I've got the multi-purpose platform on tab 2, which is what you want to use when you're using the precision base plate as I am. The precision base plate is great for Thinlits that have lots of small intricate cuts. For example, this one, the embellished ornaments that we had at the holiday season, the butterfly wings, that kind of thing. So I'm just going to run this through my Big Shot. My table is shaking a bit. I haven't quite figured out how to stop that from happening so much when I'm using my Big Shot. Notice that I am running this back and forth through a couple of times. That is to be expected. The reason is, with all these little cuts, you want to be sure each one is cut out very well. I always like to flip it over and check. If there's something that has not cut through the paper all the way, I'll run it through the Big Shot another time, but this looks excellent. So let me move my Big Shot out of the way. And now I'm going to use my Big Shot die brush. I'm going to pull away the negative space of that cardstock, lay it simply on top of the sponge, and then I'm just going to roll back and forth gently. Okay, and as you see, pieces are already popping out. Flip it over. I can pull this out. It looks perfect. And I don't have to poke out any of those little pieces. So for me, this product is a great time saver. It's $11 in the Occasions catalog. But before I had this product, I would have been using my piercing tool to punch out all these tiny little pieces. And now I don't have to do that. So I always love a time saver. Okay. Now we're going to use this piece I cut out as a stencil. To hold that stencil in place, I'm using a tiny bit of washi tape. That'll just make it a little bit easier when I'm moving around the shape with my sponge daubers. I showed this technique to my stamp club a couple weeks ago and they really loved it, so I hope you enjoyed as much as they do. Okay, in the cards, the samples I showed you, we used we used Watermelon Wonder and Mossy Meadow. Today I'm using Rose Red and Garden Green. I'm going to start with my Rose Red. Got my sponge dauber ready. And I'm just going to sponge all around this rose. Of course, you can do dark sponging or simply very light if you want a more delicate, subtle look. Okay, I tend to be a little bit bold here. You do want to go beyond the rose. Whoops, there I went on the leaf, but that'll be okay in the end. This is a beautiful color, especially for spring. And of course you can make your roses all different colors. Cherry cobbler, real red, perhaps a daffodil delight color would be awesome. Calypso coral, melon mambo, I bet that would be striking. Okay, so there you have it. You can see, and also if I want it a little bit darker, I just add a little more ink. Try to even that out a little bit. Okay. Now I'm going to set that aside for a moment and use my garden green to ink the leaves. At this point, I'm just going to move my washi tape off the leaves so it'll still hold my image in place, but won't be in the way of me stamping, or I'm sorry, sponging the leaves. So again, sponge over all the leaves. Garden green color reminds me of the grass color this time of year. Ours is just beautiful. It's so bright and green. We've had lots of rain, a mild winter, so everything's really greening up quickly here in Cincinnati. And it looks like I'm just about finished. You can see that that really didn't take too long at all. Okay, so I'm finished with the sponge daubers and ink pads for now. And let me show you what I have. And there is my card front for the first card. Okay, now let me show you what I'm doing to make the second card. The second card, I'm just going to be using that stencil I used previously over here. And I'm going to be adhering it with the wonderful fine tip glue pen. And on this, I'm just using small dots of glue. I don't think you need to run it along every bit of cardstock. So just some dots here and there, especially around the outside. I did put a little bit in the center because I don't want my center of the flower to be popping up. Okay, remember, a little goes a long way. You hardly don't even need to squeeze this as it's coming out. Once you get it started, it just kind of drops out. The other thing is, remember that it dries very quickly. So you can't be putting glue dots on and then walk away to answer the phone and come back and set it down, because it will dry that quickly. And then won't adhere if you don't have it on your card base right away. So there you have it. Two very simple card fronts I made quickly. I'm going to finish these off now. I'm actually using, as you can see, this stamp set includes many different greetings for weddings, birthdays, sympathy, thinking of you, thank you. Love it for that reason. So I'm going to today use sympathy. I just heard a friend lost her mom, so I want to send her a sympathy card, of course. I'm going to stamp with sympathy in the green. The garden green on the front. And then on the inside, I'm going to stamp "You're in my thoughts and prayers." And I think she might like this very much. And there you have it. My two cards are complete in just a matter of minutes. And of course you could do this with other Thinlits dies as well at Christmas time with the embellished ornaments. You could use the butterfly wing set. That would be beautiful, especially this time of year. And of course, if you want to add a little embellishment, you can. Perhaps adding some Wink of Stella detail there, or I think on this one I might actually put some pearls or rhinestones underneath to finish it off. But there you have it. Two cards, 2 ink pads, 2 sponge daubers, some glue, and you're all set. I hope you enjoyed this technique, and I hope you'll give it a try. And I'd love to see your creations. So please tell me what you've made using this technique, and if you don't mind, even send a picture. Have a great day. I hope it's filled with peace and happiness.